you don't even know me, and you're cheering like crazy. Look at you people. I'll tell you one thing. It's really great that we're doing this show in New York City, because New York City is the greatest city in the world, and a lot of people, it is. It really is. And I didn't say it just to get your applause, because we know it. And you know, the rest of the world hated New York City before September 11th. They hated us. They hated us. I mean, before September 11th, people thought it was NYPD Blue 24 hours a day. And they just hate us. They wouldn't watch the Mets-Yankees World Series because they hated New York City. They wouldn't watch it because they hate. Then all of a sudden, September 11th, they saw how cool we were. Like, hey, New York's great. They're wearing I Love New York buttons. Well, screw you. We were great the whole time, all right? Yeah. We rock. It's a great city. We do. It's a great city. New Yorkers, we love New York City, but we can't stay here 365 days a year. In order to appreciate how great New York City is, we have to take a vacation. But every New Yorker makes the same mistake. We take a 10-day vacation. It's the worst thing we can ever do. You take a 4-day vacation. If you get 10, take 6 in New York, 4 on the road. Because New Yorkers can't last outside of New York City for more than 4 days. You know what I'm talking about? It's true. But you need to get out of the city. So what we always see, you go to Colorado or some antithesis place, some really beautiful place, you always see the New Yorkers at the airport. The whole family's all dressed in black because that's our school colors, and you know, we have to wear that. And the father and the mother and the kids are like, hey, honey, isn't this beautiful here in Colorado with trees and junk, and it's lovely. I know this sounds crazy, but I could live here. Then the second day, people are walking around going, have a nice day, which, you know, they don't mean for a second, of course. And, you know, the water's not that great, so they don't have good pizza or bagels. And then, you know, right, and then, you know, you look at the sports score, it's like Pittsburgh 2, and that's it. They don't even have the other half, which really happened to me once on the road. And then the third day, someone takes a half hour to give you change of a $20 bill. It's like, get me freaking home! You know what I mean? It's just like, we can't take it. Here's something interesting about New York City. We have one electric company in New York City. They're called Con Edison. They're our only electric company, yet they advertise on television. What the hell are they thinking about? Our bills are more expensive because we pay for them to advertise. What could they possibly say in a commercial that would make any difference to us? Hi, we're Con Edison. Sorry. Con Edison, it's either us or rubbing 2 sticks together. Con Edison, you have no other choice. Bow. The post office advertises stamps on television. Stamps! We have commercials that actually go, buy U.S. postage stamps. All right, now maybe it's just me. But my whole life, all I've ever bought was U.S. postage stamps. Because when you try scotch taping 37 pennies to the envelope, it never gets there. Because every time you put a penny on the envelope, it weighs more. Then you can put another penny on, then it weighs more, another penny, and you can never win. You know, what's very interesting about New York City, through all the good times and all the bad times in New York City, there's one thing that'll never change. There will always be construction on the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. Our whole lives, right? New Yorkers know that. And you know why? You know why? Because we pay them by the hour. That's why. Because you'd be an idiot to finish the job early. Do you know what I'm saying? You're getting $40 an hour to wave an orange flag. You're not going to do anything, you know? You're going to make that job last forever. If you did it, paid them by the job, you know what I'm saying? It would be over in 2 weeks. What a great gig, huh? You never see ads for that. I would join up for that job. You're looking for strong men, outstanding pay, eat and tan while you work. Must be able to have never finished anything you've started in your entire life. I have a very little grandma who lives right off the BQE. That's how I know about the BQE. My grandma's 4'9". You can pick her up in your hand, she's so tiny. It's like, hi, Grandma. How you doing? Now go finish cooking. She wears big dresses, she floats. I wouldn't hurt her. But I'll never forget the night I thought she was evil. Remember when you're a little child, you realize for the very first time your grandmother wears false teeth? Remember what a shock that is? And there's 2 shocks. The first shock is when you see the teeth in the glass. The second shock is when you realize those teeth are not in her mouth. It's like, teeth. Ah! What's the matter, Eddie? Ah! You're like in grandma hell. You're running around the house. You're looking in your tortellini for ears. Ah! It's scary. I got your nose, Grandma. No, you don't, Grandma. Leave my nose alone. You're coming apart, not me. My sister was the smart one. She took the denture, stuck in her pillow, got a motorbike the next day. Could have had a nice bike. Oh, thank you. I grew up with my grandparents in the house. How many people grew up with your grandparents in the house? Applaud if you've grown up with your grandparents. Not many. But it's the greatest thing in the world. It's the greatest thing in the world. You know why? They're your best friends growing up. You know why? Because they want to get back at their kids for screwing up their lives, so they're your best friends. You know, Grandma, Daddy's yelling at me. Oh, yeah? Well, tell him he used to pee in his bed till he was 12. See if he yells at you now. It's like, hey, thanks. Here's something very interesting. Very, very interesting. I was recently in Washington, D.C., and I saw Ted Kennedy walking around. And you know what's interesting about that? He's the only Kennedy walking around. That's what I realized. I know it, like some of you like, oh, like you left like, oh, because you're nervous. But, you know, I believe in bad karma. Now, a lot of people are very young here, and you don't really know that I believe, you know, not that you don't know that I believe in bad karma. I've told you, so you know that. But you don't know that Joseph Kennedy, the father of all the Kennedys, was really kind of a bootlegger, and he extorted money from people during the Depression. And I think, and I'm not sure, but, you know, maybe bad things have happened to his kids because of that. Every one of his kids except Teddy. And Teddy has been in many accidents, but that proves that the drunk walks away from the accident. That's exactly what that's about. You know what I'm saying? He's been in accidents. He had a plane crash a bunch of years ago in Colorado. Like, smash! He's like, God dang mountain. He like wipes it off like it's nothing. He drove his car into a lake. The girl drowns. He's like, I got water in my ears. He's Robo Kennedy. You can't kill that guy, you know? That's one of the ones you don't want to laugh, but you're laughing at it, you know? It's true, and you can tell that he's drunk. You know how? His name is Edward Kennedy, yet he calls himself Teddy. He's so hammered, he thinks his name is Theodore. He's Eddie Kennedy. No, I'm Teddy. No, you're hammered. Put the drink down. You can't be Teddy. Your name's not Tedward, it's Edward. You can't take other people's nicknames because you're drunk, you know, or rich. His older brother had an odd request. My name is John, but you can call me Jack for short. For short, it's the same 4 letters. What the hell are you guys drinking up there? If your name is Jackson, you get Jack. You can't take Jack if your name is John. If your name is John, you get Johnny, and that's what you have to live with. Women do that too. My name's Margaret. You can call me Peg. I'm not going to call you Peg. You have half a leg, I'll call you Peg. Other than that, you're Margie. What are you, a pirate all of a sudden? Shiver me timbers, Margie. And here's the weirdest one. If your name is Richard, why? Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Your name's not Dickard. Your name is Richard. There's no reason to give yourself a phallic name. There's no reason. You have so many choices. You can be Rick, you can be Rich. I'd rather be called Chard than to be called Dick. Why would you do that to yourself? Nobody else does that. My name's Carl, but you can call me. You know what I mean? I know I'm Carl, but I prefer. Well, we prefer Carl. Here's something very interesting for you. Why do little children sing when they tease each other? They think it makes it worse. I'm telling Joey's mother. I'm telling Joey's mother. The more they want to piss you off, the more they modulate. I'm telling Joey's mother. Like the higher the note, the more you're going to be angry. I'm telling you. It's like, tell my mother. She hates you and your whole family. It's not going to do you any good. But how did that ever start? My friends never said, hey, Eddie, go to school and make fun of Joey and his mother and sing it, sing it, sing it. Or we never got together, Joey's mother, Joey's mother. Has to go back in time, maybe the time of the Greeks. Caesar wears a toga. Or the time of Jesus. Joseph's not your real dad. You know, because he wasn't his real dad, and the kids would do that. Very hard to talk about religion in this country. We should. Religion should be about love and not fear. And there's too much fear in the world. There's too much confusion about religion in the world. Religion is a beautiful thing. And religious leaders have been confusing us lately. It's really been horrible. Like, religious leaders tell us if we do good things, we go to heaven. right? And then some of them do bad things, and it makes me think, maybe hell's the cooler place, and they're holding out on us. You know what I'm saying? Because they push heaven like crazy. It makes you think. Remember growing up, we don't really know what heaven looked like. It was cartoons in a book, right? There's a picture of a long table with food and angels playing harps. And then hell, they never showed you much. They showed you one picture, the boiler room. Maybe that's the boiler room to the 5-star hotel and casino where all the priests are gambling. You know what I'm saying? People pushing each other. Watch it, buddy, watch it. You go to heaven. Oh, you go to heaven. I grew up in a house where there was more than one religion, and that what made my life terrific because we learned to respect each other's religion. And that's why there's problems in the world today. That's why there's fighting in the Middle East. That's why there was fighting in Northern Ireland. That's why there's fighting in our own country, because we do not respect each other's religion. We have to, because we don't know which one is right. We don't. We don't. We don't. There are people in this theater who believe in Jesus, and there are people in this theater who don't believe in Jesus. And there are people here that believe in Allah, and there are people here who believe in Muhammad. And there's some guy right now in Times Square in 42nd Street with a bullhorn going, "God's a golf club! God's a golf club!" And we laugh at that guy. But what if we get to the afterlife and God's a 9-iron? It's like, Bullhorn Johnny was right. No, I could have slept in all those Sundays. And no wonder why Tiger Woods is so great. Right, then you get to heaven and God's a golf club. You're like, God, you're a golf club. Why didn't you give us a sign? He's like, give you a sign? I put a guy in the middle of the busiest intersection on the planet with a bullhorn. Was that too subtle for you? Yeah, but he smelled like urine. Well, that was his idea. He thought it would bring attention to himself. I'm a big hockey fan. A lot of people in this country are not big hockey fans because, well, some people are. You know why? Because it's poorly marketing. And marketing is everything. You know, you can sell the, Backstreet Boys if you're a good marketer. You can, that's why, these people are just corporate crap. And it's just, you buy the Backstreet Boys just because you have to buy the lunchbox and all the crap that comes with it. That's what our country's about. And it's all about marketing. And hockey is really, really poor when it comes to marketing. It really is. Because 3.5 seasons ago, and when this airs, it might be 6 seasons ago, but it's true, hockey was the only game in town because basketball went on strike. And they didn't do anything about it. It's the best sport to see live. It is a sexual experience to go to a hockey game. I know it sounds ridiculous, but when you're part of a good hockey crowd, you're part of 18,000 people ready to have a simultaneous orgasm when that puck goes in the net, because people follow this puck with such passion across the ice, and when the goaltender makes a save, it's like 18,000 people at once going especially when the goaltender makes like 3 saves in a row. It's like score, and then you're like, all right, lights go off, sirens. It's like having sex with 18,000 your closest friends. And hockey players come from all over the world. They do. It was one of the first sports to be international. There's a lot of great names. And a Russian goaltender plays for Tampa Bay, Nikolai Khabibulin. Khabibulin spelled K. Where's the K in Khabibulin? Russian guys, give them 15 letters in their name, pick 6 and pronounce them. You choose. You know what's a great term in hockey? Shots on goal, which literally means how many shots you take against the goaltender as a team. But if you say it quick enough, it sounds like a dish you order at an Italian restaurant. Yeah, my wife will have a plate of fusilli and let me that shots on goal. A little garlic on my shots on goal. But 62% of the guys in the NHL are French Canadian and have the most beautiful names in the world but weirdly pronounced. Goaltender for Colorado, Patrick Roy. Roy spelled R-O-Y. Roy? Your name is Roy, pal. Cut the crap, all right? Oh, no, my name is Roy. It's like, do you say girl and bois? One of the weirdest names ever pronounced in hockey, one of the greatest goaltenders to ever play the game, plays most of his career in Philadelphia, a guy named Bernie Perron. Perron, but spelled parent. Perron, but spelled parent. But the French do that. They make ENT silent in all their words. The words sound cool. Perron. Wouldn't it be great if you do that in English, make words sound pretty? You're like, I hit my head on the pavement. I've got grandma locked in the basement. I mean, even bowel movement kind of sounds pretty, right? So I'm visiting the Washington Monument, and I locked my keys in my glove compartment. And all the money's in there for my appartement, and now I cannot pay my wrong. One thing about English-speaking people, we're the most arrogant people in the world. And the reason why is because we think we run the world. And we do. But we're so arrogant that we change the names of other people's countries for no reason whatsoever. There's a country in Europe, very beautiful country with a beautiful name called España. I've been there, it's gorgeous. It's called España, but we don't call them that. We gave them a name. What do we call them? Spain, what the hell is that about? That's not their name. Who went over and said, hey, what's your name? España? That's a horrible name. That doesn't rhyme with anything. How are you going to have a song for your country? All you got is, I'm Tanya from España. Then you're out of luck, pal. For now on, you're Spain. Plain, Maine, rain. I got a whole musical I'm working out for you. We don't have one of those squiggly things on our typewriter. You're Spain, for now on. You don't change their name. My name's Eddie. You call me Timmy. I'm going to kick your ass. We changed their name. You know what the hardest language to learn in the whole world is? You guys know hardest language in the whole world? Everyone has different answers. English, American English. Ebonics. There you go. It wasn't hard for me. I've been using Ebonics the whole time. But it's true. English is the hardest language in the whole world. It really is. If you don't believe me, I'll prove it to you. We have to take English in school. People major in English in college. It's like, aren't you from here? Yeah, but I really want to learn it good. Oh, I mean, well. Or is it good? Well, it's all well and good, you know, I just You cannot learn English, you can only memorize it. Because the rules are ridiculous. I before E, except after C, with the exception of words that rhyme with neighbor and way. Excuse me, teacher, what about leisure and seizure? All right, screw that rule. Sorry, kids. How can you learn a language when there's half a rule? How about the vowels? A, E, I, O, U, N, sometimes Y. Can you be a little bit more vague with this rule, please? When Y? Sometimes. Okay, we're ready for the exam. What's wrong with Y? What's it, the rebel vowel? Make Y a vowel. Make G a vowel. Just make a commitment to one rule. What's the Y on alphabet parole? Who did the Y piss off in the 12th century? As long as I am king, the Y will never completely be a vowel. The hardest language to learn in the world. We have extra letters in our words for no reason whatsoever. Extra letters for no reason. Maybe when the British invented the language, they put all the words they invented on a really big blackboard, and they had a box of letters left over, and they didn't have the receipt, so they couldn't return them to the store. It's like, all right, get rid of the letters, throw them in the words. Extra P, put that in front of pneumonia, they'll never see that one, all right? Here's another P, put that in front of psychiatrist, that'll screw them up. Here's a K, put that in front of knife. PGH, screw up phlegm. All right, beautiful. But what do we tell them, sir? Screw them, tell them they're silent letters. Silent letters, we're studying stuff that's not there. Excellent. I have a friend, all the letters in his name are silent. We call him. He knows. It's the hardest language to learn in the world. And the reason why, there's too many cliches that, if taken literally, would be devastating for foreigners. Like when we're upset, we always go, for crying out loud! What? For crying out loud, can't you see we're trying to do a show? For crying out loud, it's like an award you give to a child in nursery school. And here's the award, little Buddy Ryan, for crying out loud. Let's hear it for him. Thank you. And he wins the award for crying over spilled milk. Splash. He'll cry at the drop of a hat. Fling poo. He'll cry his eyes out. Fling pling. He's good crying, Buddy Ryan. Here's another one. Needless to say. Needless to say, we had a terrific time tonight. Needless to say. Then don't say it. Well, it goes without saying. Then shut up. He doesn't know his ass from his elbow. Well, then get him a long sleeve shirt. Happy as a clam, what guy went down to the beach and so like, And happy as a clam is a weird phenomenon. Happy as a clam is known as a simile. And whenever we use similes for some reason, we always use animals. And I share what I mean. They say a man's an animal trying to pick up a girl at a bar. Tries to show he's strong as an ox, sly as a fox, memory like an elephant. Girl kind of likes him to become slippery as an eel, regular snake in the grass. Girl likes that, she's going home with them, they're snug as two bugs on a rug. So they go home, they hump like rabbits. Unfortunately, he's quick as a bunny. She's depressed, she goes right to the refrigerator, she's hungry as a bear. Eats like a pig. He goes to the liquor cabinet, gets drunk as a skunk. He drinks like a fish, he's blind as a bat. Next thing you know, he's out in the street naked as a jaybird. He's pissing like a racehorse, goes, screw her, I'm hung like a horse. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a very good night.